The purpose of this video is to show how to find the surface area of prisms and cones. Prisms and cones. And we know that a prism can have any kind of a base, virtually any kind of a base. Typically, they're going to be, rectangles or squares, but there's no reason why you can't have a hexagon or something like this for a base as well. And then it goes up to a point. Okay, those are pyramids. So it's not, a pyramid doesn't always have to have a square base, but a square pyramid does. So you'll be able to use this. Hopefully this will help you find the surface area of any kind of pyramid that you're going to be trying to find the surface area for. And also, cones are very similar, and we'll give an example of how to do that too. So let's start with the prism, or I'm sorry, the pyramid. And this pyramid that I have here does have a square base. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and draw that base, and we can see that it's 4 by 4 because it is a square. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish drawing the net, and I think that you can see that all of these sides here form triangles, so I'm going to draw it just like this to finish out my net. And then they've given me the slant height, okay? And so the slant height is essentially right here. That would be different from the height of the pyramid. The height of the pyramid would go basically directly from the point at the top straight down at a 90-degree to the base. And believe it or not, actually, it's not always in the center. Normally, again, they are, but it can be a slanted pyramid as well. So that would be the height, but we want to deal with the slant height. And so the slant height that's given to us is 5. So essentially, we see that we have a square and 4 triangles. And so if we find the area of that square and then add that to the area of the 4 triangles, we should be able to get our net, the surface area, by finding the area of our net. So that's what we're going to do. So I think the square base is very easy for us to do. Not even write out the side squared or the side times the side for a square. So 4 times 4 is 16. Again, if this was a rectangle, let's say this was 2 by 8, we just do base times height, and we would get 16 also, coincidentally. Or if it was 5 by 7, we get 35. Okay, so that's the base, and then the height. Okay, so each one of these triangles is going to be the same. So if I just find one triangle, then I can multiply it by 4. So if this is the base of this triangle, and you gotta be careful because the base of this solid is this whole square. The base of this shape, triangle, is 4. So sometimes the terms overlap, so just be careful. So the base of this one triangle here is 4, and the height was 5. So again, though this was the slant height of the pyramid, this is the height of the triangle. So we know that for a triangle, it's 1/2 base times height is the area, and so 1/2 of 4 is 2, and 2 times 5 is 10. So each side is 10, and then square units. So if it was centimeters, it's centimeters squared, right? And so since each side is 10, we do 4 times 10 because there's 4 sides plus 16. So we get 40 plus 16, and we get 56. And then again, whatever units you're using, this is a squared unit, so let's just say call it centimeters squared. Now, a cone is a little bit more tricky, but we can still handle it. We know that the net of this cone looks something. Forgive my drawing. It's not exactly a triangle, but it's a curved maybe curved looking triangle if you want to call it that. And so again, we're breaking these down into parts. Now, this is one, well, for this lesson and for the next lesson, there is a formula that you can just memorize for all these things, but I think it's helpful to, instead of trying to memorize, because the more you're going to be in geometry, the more of these formulas you're going to have. So I think it's a lot easier, instead of trying to memorize the formula for every single one, it's easy if you can memorize a few and then break it down into smaller shapes. So in other words, I didn't say, this is base squared times 4 times 1/2 base times slant height. I could have put it into one formula, but I think this is easier because these are probably formulas you've already have memorized. Okay, so again, we're going to break this down to its pieces. So now we know that to find the area of a circle, it is pi times the radius squared. That will give us that one piece. And what you may not know is to find this piece, it's going to be the area equals pi times the radius times s, or the slant height. Okay, so it's pi times the radius times the slant height. And again, it's similar to, it's a little bit similar to a triangle, but not exactly. So if we find this and we find this, we add those two together, we can get the area of this cone. So let's plug in some numbers here. Pi, you know what, we'll write our answer in terms of pi first. Times 4 times 6, it's going to be pi times 4 squared. So this is going to give us 16 pi for that one. And this is going to give us 24 pi for this one. And then if we add those two together, right, we will get 40 pi. And 40 pi, if you wanted to put that into a calculator, you could do 40 times 3.14, or 40 times your pi button. And that will give you the surface area of this cone. Okay, as always, hope that was understood, and if there's any questions, please feel free to speak up in class, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.